This week I'm making stacking dishes with a lid based on a traditional tiffin. I'm hoping I can use this for transporting, picnicking, heating and storing food. The design is for 3 ceramic dishes that stack together with a lid, and I'm going to need to be pretty precise in the throwing and trimming for this to work. Even if I get it right, things can still warp in the kiln, but I think I have the perfect solution to this problem. So I start by making the base. I've prepared 4 balls of clay. 3 balls are 1.5 kilo each, and the 4th is 1 kilo. I start by taking one of the larger balls and I center. Then I flatten the top and bring the clay out to this size I need to make the tiffin. These dishes don't have a foot ring, so I don't need to leave a lot of clay in the base. So now I pull up the walls to the final height. And now I've made the first base, I'm going to carefully measure. I set aside the first base to dry, and now I'm ready to make 2 more. And I use my measurement and make sure that they're the same size. So I take the smaller last piece of clay and I'm ready to make the lid. So I center and then flatten the clay out, and I bring the clay out to the diameter of the dishes. And now I start to bring clay out from the middle, just a little clay out that I'm going to use to form the flange. So the flange is that little rim that sits down into the inside of the dish. It prevents the top from sliding off. Now I wire through and set aside to dry. Now that all of the pieces are leather hard, I'm ready to trim. So I put the first base on the wheel and I tap to center. Then I fasten with some clay lugs. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm actually not trimming a foot ring. I'm just trimming straight across the base to give it a slight depression. And then I'm going to trim around the outer edge to create a kind of flange. So the bottom of this pot will fit into the rim of another. And then I need to do this for another 2 pots. And now I trim the lid. I fasten it with some clay lugs again. And then I'm just going to trim straight across the top. Now I'm ready to check that it all fits together before the first firing. And then I bisque and glaze. I'm ready to unload the glaze firing. Now, I mentioned in the intro that I had an idea to prevent warping in the firing, and that is, I fired it together. So in firing things together, I need to make sure that I carefully wipe all the glaze from the edges of all the pieces, that is, where the pieces come in contact. Because it's not a dish to drink from, it's not vital that the rim is fully glazed. I've just wiped the top rim and the flange. In spite of this, these 2 bases have fired together. So to release, I just gently drop them on the table and they come apart. Firing the pieces together has really paid off, and the 4 pieces fit really well. And here it is, my Tiffin inspired stacking ceramic boxes ready to use. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like and comment below and subscribe to see more of our projects. And as always, happy making.